Hey, 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 it's Dr. Day coming to you this evening. I just want to come, ladies. Again, I'm talking to my ladies, and this could apply to anybody, but I want to talk to you about waiting. And many times we become impatient. We want things when we want them, how we want them. And oftentimes we just go out and jump the gun. And this topic came up as a result of talking to someone today. And she was talking about how hard it is for her to control her emotions. Now, she didn't get into the specifics of what she was talking about, her emotions. I don't know if they were just her mind and her will and her soul or her flesh, but she was like, it's just getting harder and harder for her to wait. Now, I asked a question to her, so what are you waiting for? And she said she's waiting for her significant other. And I said, okay, that's well and fine. A couple of my friends, we are single, have either been married, divorced, or widowed, and maybe believing God for another chance at it. We learn through the other experience, whether they were good or bad, to do better the next time. And so we anticipate a second chance to do this marriage thing and get it right. And I know I do. Sometimes I be like, Lord, I was anxious and I would say, Lord, when are you going to send a significant other in my path? Or, Lord, when you going to do this? And so I had to learn, excuse me, I had to learn to take myself out the equation and just be still and allow God to move. Now, either God is going to send someone if that's in his will, if that's in his purpose for me. I had to learn that. I had to stop thinking that it was because what something I wanted and I didn't go before the Lord and ask him, God, is this what you want for me? And so now that I have gotten older, I have more wisdom and understanding about this thing life. I take it one day at a time. So I was kind of like listening to her, and she was rambling on and on and on and on. And everything that I heard from her was about the flesh. It wasn't about something that she was even anticipating to do. She had already made up her mind that it was hard for her to wait for a significant other. And because of her not waiting for a significant other, and to unfortunately, ladies, this is many of us fit this category, is that we find ourselves again and again in revolving relationships that don't last. So I said to her, do you ever sit down and take those Selah moments that I'm always telling you and sharing you about? Because I have to take Selah moments to analyze and see exactly what's going on in my life and how I contribute to a lot of what's going on. Uh, we are the common denominator for everything that happens in our life. So we can't blame nobody else. So she says to me, no, I'm just tired and it's hard. It's hard. When I meet someone, it's like the flesh just wants to grab that person because I've been, in her case, she's been widowed for 10 years or so. And she's younger than I am. I'm 71. So she's in her 40s. And so, she thinks that the clock is ticking, which the clock is ticking, but she feels like that she has no option but to go out there and try to satisfy herself by using the excuse that it's hard to wait. But one of the things that I gave her an example, life is always about waiting. We wait from childhood to adulthood. Okay, think about it like this, and this is what I gave. This is analogies I gave her, so I'm going to run it by you too. Is when you're at the traffic light, you have to sit there and wait for the light to turn green. You get up on the caution light, and then the light goes from caution to red, and then you have to sit there and wait until the other traffic, whichever way the direction of the traffic is going opposite of you, you have to sit there and wait for it. Now, if you don't wait, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be collisions, it's going to be crashes. So I said, okay, think about this. When you go into the different various stores, Walmart, Target, or whatever store that you shop in, there's always a line. You're going to have to wait in the line. And I noticed too, I was sharing with her too, that when these self-service lines was created was to get out faster. But I'm finding they're longer than the regular lines is because people really are in a hurry. That's the comparison too. They're in a hurry. So they'll get in the self-service line with carts overflowing with stuff, and they're scanning one by one and one and one. And if they had to get in a line with the clerk, at least the clerk know how to scan the barcode and how to move it and have that production going real fast. Well, whereas if we're the ones doing the scanning ourselves, we're taking the item and we're going like this, and then we're going in the basket and we're picking up another one. I've noticed people, they don't put all the stuff on the conveyor belt. They just leave the stuff in the basket and they reach down there and they take one at a time. So you're standing in this long line waiting, and you have three items and they have 50. So you're waiting there. Okay, what about this? You go to the excuse me. You go to the doctor's office. Your appointment is at 2 o'clock. You get there, they weigh you, they take your temperature, and they call you. For you sit in the waiting room, then they call you to this other room. Then you go in there and you tell the nurse the assessment of why you're there, and da 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 da. And they do all the weight and the temperature and the blood pressure. Then they say go back outside and have a wait in this waiting room. So you go back outside in the waiting room and you sit out there, and your appointment is at 2. It's 2:45. The doctor still has not called you. So what I'm saying is, and what I was saying to her is, waiting is not hard when it deals with relationships or desiring someone, because you wait most of your life. Most of your life is a waiting process. And so, if you can have the discipline, now you might be in the doctor's office getting frustrated. You at the traffic light, you on the horn, that the people with the road rage because they in a hurry. And then you're in the store and you're like, oh my God, why is this person in the line? And why is da 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 da, and everything is going slow. But you have the self discipline to wait, because if you go through that traffic light that you're going to cause accident. If you try to jump in front of somebody in the store, it might be you and the person battling in the store, because people are on a short fuse now. And so you in the doctor's office, and you can't do nothing but wait, because you got this appointment. You might have some issues going on. You might come there to see the doctor. And so you have to wait. So I was explaining that to her, and I was trying to give her a correlation how life is just about waiting, uh, and that you can keep yourself in a position uh, to be able to sustain from jumping the gun, just laying down with everybody because you're so impatient to wait. That flesh wants to be satisfied, that flesh wants everything right then and there. And so I said to her, I said, you have to think about why you, every other 2 or 3 months, you're calling me with a different scenario about a different man. Okay. You're getting older and you should have some wisdom right about now, is that your impatience is what's causing the problem. It is, and I said to her, waiting is not hard. Now, she said to me, Dr. Day, how can you say it's not hard? I said, because I am an example of patience. Now, did I have the patience, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit? Did I have it all my life? No. And I would be telling you wrong if I did. I said, but you have to learn uh, to have self control. In other words, don't be so quick to do things. And that's unfortunately what most people, and it's not even male or female, I'm not even going to break that down like that. Most people have no self-control. It's all about right now. I want it right now. And some of it could stem from when you was a little child, and you know how little babies, when they cry and their parents is so eager to jump and get what they want and pacify them and give them what they want, and then they grow up thinking that they supposed to have everything given to them on a silver platter. Now, people always, that silver platter thing right there, people always want to equate it to rich people. No, you don't have to be rich for you to give your kids something on a silver platter, because I see plenty of people middle class in, whatever status state that you're in, that they cater to their kids, and their kids be in the store. I be in the store and I be looking at parents, and the kids be whining, I want that and I want that. And they be, no, wait till you, no, no. And then they get it. And then they'll say, well, wait till you get home to open it. And what does the child do? He takes the stuff and he rips it open. And then once he's gotten it open, um, it's like he don't want it no more, because the thrill of getting in the anticipation of getting that item has no more value to him now, because he didn't have to get wait to tear the package open before he got home. He just did it right then and there. And even when you give people birthday presents, what do they do? Sometimes people don't even be saying thank you. They get you give them the present and they ripping it open, and then after they look at it and it might not be to their satisfaction what they want, they will look at you like thank you, but you really don't feel the gratitude and the thankfulness in their appreciation of what you did. The only thing they were concerned about is, you gave me a gift. I'm not going to wait. I want it now. Just like Christmas, kids, they anticipating Christmas is in the next, week or so, and kids, walking past the tree and they see all the presents up under the tree, and they like, mommy, can I just open one? Can I just open one box? I just want to open one. And some parents say, no, you have to wait till Christmas Eve, or you have to wait till Christmas Day. And then you have those other parents say, well, get the smallest box, get the smallest box. And then they get it and they be like, oh, that's, yeah, they like ungrateful or unappreciative. And I remember a couple of times, my grandkids and my kids, I would sit there and watch them as they open their Christmas presents. And you might have seen that on your kids, and they don't mean no harm. It's just that, the anticipation, they don't wait it. And then now they open it, and then it's like this expression like, oh, why you give me this? This is not what I want. I thought I asked you for this. So I'm saying all of that to go back to the young lady that called me, and she was trying to explain to me, and she was justifying, and she was giving all kind of excuses, and wanted me to pacify her, and wanted me to say, it's okay, baby girl, that you can go ahead and do what you want. You can go sleep with that new guy you met. No, I'm not giving you that okay. I am not giving you that grounds to commit, and satisfy your lustfulness, nor grounds for you to commit fornication. I am not doing it. I am not the one. So you need to go and find someone else if you think that this is your situation, and you're finding it hard to wait, but you want somebody to pat you on the shoulder. You want somebody to say, oh, it's okay, you don't have to wait, you can go ahead and do that. But I came, I told her, and I've come to tell somebody who might be listening, you might be thinking that it's hard for you to wait for that significant other. It's hard for you to wait, whatever you're waiting for. It might not even be a significant other. You might be waiting for that promotion, and it seemed like they told you they was going to give you the promotion 6 months ago, and now because of the government shutdown and all that, they delayed it, and they're saying it's a possibility that you might not get that promotion. And so now you're finding it hard to wait. You're finding it hard to be settled in what's going on. And then, all of a sudden you find yourself having attitudes, and it's just a whole bunch of snowball effect when you put yourself in a position and you say to yourself that waiting is hard. I can't wait. So you might even jump up and say, well, since you didn't give me that promotion and I'm not waiting for that promotion, I'm going to go find another job someplace else. And this very one job that you might leave might be the very one that God has opened those doors that you have been waiting for. But because you're so impatient, you just want to go ahead and go before God, and you want to do your own thing. You want it when you want it and how you want it. You'll mess up your blessing. So I just stopped on here to say to somebody that waiting is not hard. Why? Because there is excuse me. Why? Because there is hope inside of you. God has given us all the ability uh, to to wait, because you're waiting for the great expectation of something that you've never had before, something that you've never seen before, something that you've never done before. And maybe in all that waiting, it's a part of your purpose. God does everything strategically. He doesn't do stuff that haphazardly. He doesn't do stuff because he just feel like doing it. No, there is a reason why you have to wait. You can ask the Lord, but if He don't want to reveal it to you, because He omnipotent, wise, and all powerful, He can do what He want, when He want, and how He want to do it. And so you have to learn to know that waiting is not a denial. Waiting is not a punishment. It be something for your best interest. And so many times, many people jump before God and they mess up and they do stuff, and then they find themselves going down a rabbit hole that they can't get out. So you have to know waiting is not hard, because there's hope inside of you. There's hope in the waiting. There's great anticipation. It should be great excitement. The Bible tells us there's to everything there's a season, and this might be your season of you have to wait. You don't know why God is putting it on a hold. Just like years ago, they used to have layaway, and they don't have layaway no more. And I'm, truth be told, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. I like the layaways, okay? I like the layaways that gave me the ability to look forward to something when it was time to get it out. Because usually we as women, we buy stuff and we might wear it one time, and then we put it in the closet, and that's the end of it. And then we're looking for something else the next week to wear, because women, we like to be fashionable, we like to be cute, we like to be seen, whether we want to say it or not. We like the affirmations. We like the, oh girl, you look good. Oh girl, I like that on you. We like all that stuff. And so we don't want to wait. We want to go ahead and get stuff right then and there, and have it and put it on, like I said. And then now next week you're looking for something else, because you can't wait to get to church for somebody to see that new outfit that you have. And you might be going in debt trying to get a new outfit to make yourself look good, or to make people think that you got it going on. But you don't have to do all of that. You can wait. The wait until you're able financially to do stuff. Wait, and you financially, like people might say, Well, me and my family going on a cruise for Christmas. Well, maybe you have the anticipation and you want to take your family on a cruise, but you can't afford it right now. But you sacrifice and don't paying Peter, robbing Peter to pay Paul, go on this cruise, come back, and now the bills is in front of you. The same bills that you left is right there in front of you, but you didn't have the patience to wait until you were able financially to go on a cruise. So you have to understand, waiting is not a punishment. Waiting is not you being abandoned from God. No, it's not, none of that. Waiting sometime is for your best interest, whether you know it or not. God knows everything about you. He knows you're rising up and he knows you're going down. So don't think that whatever it is that you got at this season in your life that you can't wait for whatever it is to transpire. And then you are able to wait because we are wired to trust. And what I'm saying about that is, as you wait, you should be thinking about God and his faithfulness and what God has done in the past. There were situations and circumstances, maybe this is not the first time you had to wait. Maybe you had to wait for something else and you waited and God came through. And he's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. He's not going to abandon you. His word said he will never leave you nor forsake you. But God is going to give you those things that you desire in your waiting if it's in his will. Now, if it's not in his will, he is not going to honor that. But in your ability to wait, just be cognitive and remember that you are wired to trust God in his faithfulness. And then the other thing while you're waiting, you got to have self control. Like I said, one of the fruits of the spirit is patience. You got to have patience. Some of us are so short, our patience is just like this. Yeah, like this. And I know I've been there, done that. But I noticed when I was all anxious and jumping before God and stuff, I wasn't doing nothing but taking Rolex and Tylenol and Advil and all kind of stuff because I worked myself up into an anxiety. I worked myself up into headaches and stress because I'm thinking like, I gotta have it now. I gotta do it now. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes, you can wait. Waiting is not hard. It just takes some self-control. And like I was telling her, you got to have some self-control. You got to not allow that man to come to your house, or if you're going to go out on a date with him, put yourself in situations where there are other people involved. Don't put yourself in a situation where it's just you and him in an intimate setting when you know you don't have no self control. And that man knows, he studied you. And is a reason why he honed in into you. Okay, so you got to have some self control within yourself. Don't rely on the man not to approach you, not to touch you, approach you, or whatever, but you have to have that self control of yourself. You got to have it. Nobody else can do it. And then you have to know that in the waiting, there is transformation in the waiting, and that in the transformation, that God is renewing you with the ability to wait. Now, if God gave us everything instantaneously, we wouldn't have no need to have no anticipation or expectations of him moving in our life. We'll just say, okay, God, I want this right now. And then God said, poof, and it happens. And then you want this and you want this and then you got all this stuff, but you have no inner gratification. You have no inner feelings. You have no thankfulness. You have nothing. You're just an empty shell with all kind of wants and stuff that you have no emotions going on inside of you because you because sorry, because if God had given us everything we want, it would be nothing that we would have to look forward to. So you have to understand, and like I was sharing with her today, and I said, you have to be the one that's in control of your waiting process. Don't put it on nobody else. And you can wait. I'm telling you, I'm a living witness. Uh, my um, my husband is deceased, been deceased 20 something years. I told y'all I went into a relationship with 30 something, and then 4 years ago I got out of a relationship. So I haven't been in a relationship in 4 years. Now, sometime I just want someone to talk to. Like I told somebody else one day, it's not the matter of having, with somebody that you can always find someone to do that with, but it's a matter of waiting for that significant one, that one who God will put in your life to be your Aaron, to hold your arms up, to pray over you, to nurture you, to guide you, to direct you, to be that warrior. That's what you should be waiting for. You shouldn't be waiting for to satisfy your flesh at the moment, because that's just for the moment. Everything is just a thrill. The thrill is gone after that moment, and you're back to feeling empty. So that's what I was sharing with her today. I was like, waiting is not hard, girl. You just got to make up your mind and know that this is what you want to do. Don't allow nobody else to tell you that you don't have to wait, and it's not fashionable and it's not okay. Because I was looking at something today and it's very scary, and it was talking about how HIV and all these other things is just on the rise. And that's a result of nobody waiting. Everybody is just here, there, all over the place. Everybody's just having their own needs met, and they're not waiting for that significant other to come in their life, or, waiting. It's just like bed hopping, bed hopping, bed hopping, like a little rabbit, jumping here, jumping here, jumping here. And they haven't given themselves the allow themselves to be able to wait when God puts that significant other in their life. Now, unfortunately, some of us going to have to be single. That's what the word tells us. And it's okay. And you still could have friends. You don't have to always have someone to be in laying next to you up under the covers. You can have someone that can still hold your arm up, can still speak in your life, can still, guide you and direct you. It might not be your covenant partner, but excuse me, if they're not using you or abusing you in a way that's unfit for a man to do to a woman who is not in covenant with them, then it's okay, I think, to have friends that will uh, guide you and direct you, and be okay with not always jumping in the bed all the time. And so I had to remind her of that. Waiting is not hard, and it is not hard for none of us. You just got to want it, you just got to desire, and most of all, you got to do it. You have to do it. You have to know that all things is possible. All things is possible if you let God guide you and direct you. So, towards the end of our conversation, she said, well, I guess I'll try to wait until this weekend. And by then, I was through, because everything that I said went in here and came out here. And that's what made me think about sharing this with someone else who might be thinking that it is hard to wait. I want my flesh satisfied. I want those cravings and those earnings to be scratched and tickled and all that. No, baby girl, you can wait. It's not hard to wait. You just got to want to wait. You have the ball, and the ball is in your court. So, on that note, Dr. Day says, see ya.